All right, so bell ringer for today. Detail the key Enlightenment thinkers we discussed in class yesterday and their contributions to the U.S. government / Constitution. So the founding fathers look back at these these Enlightenment thinkers, thought, well, we can apply some of their beliefs, some of their ideas to our new form of government. We all know the Articles of Confederation, it failed. So looking back at some constitutional influences like ancient Rome and Greece, England, colonial heritage, and now the Enlightenment thinkers. So I'll give you some time to work on this bell ringer. Move on. We'll give you another minute to finish up here. Bless you. All right, so let's go over this real quick. Key Enlightenment thinkers. So who did we start off with yesterday? Chase.
Thomas Hobbes.
Thomas Hobbes. Good job. And why was he important? What thoughts did he have about government and the government's role in people's lives?
He believed that the absolute monarchy was best.
Yeah, good job. So he believed absolute monarchy, this authoritative government, needs to be prevalent in people's lives. Why?
Because he believed that people needed government to impose order.
Okay, yeah, good job. So he believed that government should be this essential role in people's lives to give order and to enforce their rules on the people, their laws on the people, because he believed people were what? Born bad, right? He believed that the people were just corrupt in nature and they needed this guidance. They needed this authoritative government to keep them in line. Good. Yeah. So Thomas Hobbes, he believed this absolute monarchy, it needs to be the type of government for the people because he believed people are chaotic, that they need this authoritative form of government in their lives. Good. All right. Who else do we talk about? So who kind of opposed John? Oh, sorry, just kind of give away. Who opposed Thomas Hobbes' ideas of this absolute monarchy? Go ahead, Jeffrey. John Locke. Yeah, good job, John Locke. What did he describe?
He wanted free government where people have a basic right to life, life, liberty, and property.
Yeah, good job. So he believed that people should have life, liberty, and property, those freedoms, those liberties, and that government can't take that away from the people. Good. And that government should be limited. And the people should choose how government is involved in their lives and how much government should do in certain times. Okay. So we believe that government should be restricted and limited, okay, by the people. The people have a choice of what government should look like. And like I mentioned, in times of need, times of despair, maybe government should pick up the slack a little bit and help out a little bit more. And if things are going well, then government should take a step back and allow for these people to live freely. Good. So life, liberty, and property. Good. All right. So who else do we talk about? Taylor? Montesquieu. Good job. What was he famous for? Yeah, good job. So he believed that government should have a separation of powers, should be branches of government to make sure that it doesn't become too absolute, too authoritative. Okay, making sure that this absolute monarchy, okay, doesn't really come about. And that if we are going to establish a government, that there should be branches, there should be limitations to forms of government where branches of government can check and keep in balance these powers. Good. And hey, we have 3 branches of government in the United States. So executive, judicial, and legislative. So yeah, we're taking some of these ideas and applying it to our own government. Good. And an easy way to remember that, right? Montesquieu, 3 branches of government, separation of powers. Is that it? Who else? I think there's one more yet. Tanner, do you remember?
Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Rousseau, good job. And why was he famous? What did he bring to the table?
He was a philosopher who believed in social contract theory.
Yeah, social contract theory. Good. What is the social contract theory? Madden, what's the social contract theory? I know yesterday you're like, I don't know. Okay, yeah, good job. So we're giving up fundamental rights for protection, for government to make economic decisions, for government to protect us, protect our borders, provide public safety for the people, public services. Good job. Sorry, Tanner, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Apologize. All right. Is there any questions on those Enlightenment thinkers we talked about yesterday? You see how they all kind of apply to the United States government. Maybe not so much Thomas Hobbes, right? But again, we can kind of look at Thomas Hobbes' viewpoints of government and say, you know what? As the United States moving forward, we want to make sure that we can kind of curve away, swerve away from these forms of government where they become too absolute, too authoritative. Awesome. Awesome. All right, terms. Gonna go over a few more Enlightenment thinkers today, and then I'll let you guys work on your projects. So we got Voltaire, Wollstonecraft, and Adam Smith. I know I briefly talked about Adam Smith in the first chapter when we're going over economic theories, but we'll discuss him a little bit more in detail today. So there you go. Give you time to write these terms down, their definitions. Looks like my clock's a little slow. Fix that. All right, so Voltaire, what do we have? Voltaire. Brock, what do you have for Voltaire? Yeah, good job. Good job. So he was a critic of the corruption in religion at that time and how these decisions being made were, in many cases, not justified, and how there should be a separation between church and state. Good, good. So that's the main thing, separation of church and state. And we all know Thomas Jefferson, that's one of the things he's going to bring to the table for the United States government. We need to make sure that our religious beliefs and backgrounds aren't making total decisions in our government. Does it have an impact in it with our government? Of course it does. But for the most part, we're going to try to keep these two separate. Good. Wollstonecraft. What do you have for Wollstonecraft here? Jamie, what do you have for Wollstonecraft?
English writer and early feminist who denied male supremacy and advocated equal education for women.
Yeah, good job. So Wollstonecraft, she was pushing for equal opportunities for women in society. And many individuals through the progressive era in the United States in the early 1900s, late 1800s, are going to look back at her work for motivation, right? And again, pushing the idea that women should have an equal role in society as men. Good. And finally, Adam Smith. Taylor? Okay, so laissez-faire economics, hands-off approach, making sure that this free market society can run its doings without government being interfering with it. So he believed that the market should run itself and that private business should utilize the free market the way it should be without government intervention. So capitalism, okay, capitalism. We all know the United States utilizes capitalism as their majority form of economics. Yeah, there's some social programs established making a mixed market economy, but for the most part, capitalist economy. Good, good. All right, so I'm going to talk about these individuals quick, and then I'm going to assign the projects for you to work on. And tomorrow, I think I'm just going to let you guys work on them the whole class. That should be okay. That's Friday for us. So Voltaire. So Voltaire, he was one of these philosophers that he found himself in a lot of trouble. Okay, and the reason for it being, well, he challenged a lot of the religious aspects in culture amongst many individuals, amongst many societies in Europe. Okay, the Holy Roman Empire really made all the decisions when it came to political means. And again, he served some jail time because he was challenging the role of religion in society and how religious beliefs shouldn't be the final decision-making process for political means. So he believed that there should be a separation of church and state, a separation of church and state. So again, at that time, I mean, it's amazing how he didn't get killed or executed for his beliefs and his ideas of speaking out against these religious forms, specifically the Holy Roman Empire. It's amazing how he still he didn't get killed. Right? So he was exiled, though. I guess that's second, right? Well, he didn't get totally executed or anything, but he was exiled for his beliefs. But anyway, he thought, well, this corruption in society, it's all stemming from one place. And it was stemming from these church officials making a lot of decisions for their own benefit. Okay. And he believed that these social classes that emerged from religion was just unright. It wasn't right. Okay. It was, in many cases, very corrupt. So Voltaire. Main thing again, that separation of church and state. So a little bit more from Voltaire, and hopefully this doesn't break. It is. Oh, closed on me again. Oh, what's going on here? Seems like every 8th period it does this. Sorry, guys. I think my computer's realizing too. Oh, it's 8th period. Ready to call it quits. There you go. So what? I went too fast. Sorry, Taylor. I apologize. So again, Voltaire, separation of church and state. I don't know what's going on here. Every 8th period just clicks out on me. I apologize. Separation of church and state. So Thomas Jefferson will definitely use this idea when it comes to free exercise, okay, of religion, and making sure that we can try to put up boundaries when it comes to religion, making decisions for our political advancement. You good now? Okay. Hopefully it doesn't break down again. Yeah, so exiled to England for 2 years, and again, running into a lot of issues when he was challenging the church and their decision making and their role in society. So you can see how a lot of these Enlightenment thinkers that we discussed and we went over today and yesterday, how these ideas from every individual were applied and given a place in the U.S. government and our Constitution. So again, these Enlightenment thinkers, a lot of their ideas were applied to our Constitution, making it what we know of today. One of the best forms of best written document in the world's ever seen. Giving the freedoms of the people, making sure government doesn't become too strong in people's lives. All right, you guys good with Voltaire? So main thing, again, separation of church and state. Wollstonecraft, okay? I know we mentioned her a little bit with vocab, but biggest idea, biggest push for society is equal treatment, equal opportunities for women in society, especially when it comes to education. So giving the opportunities for women to discuss, dispute, hold offices, hold political offices, and making sure that their voices are heard in society and in government, decision making. Opportunities in the workplace. So if you have me for American history too, the progressive movement we talked about in chapter 1, we focused a lot of attention on women's role in society and how this totally changed in the United States. It took a long period of time, okay? But by the early 1900s, women finally gained that right to vote, the 19th Amendment. So Wollstonecraft, equal opportunity, making sure women had the same opportunities as men in society. You guys good with that? No? Okay. So political, education, rights to the workplace, you name it. Same opportunities. And at that time, do you think she was credited a lot? Do you think a lot of people really listened to what she had to say? No, unfortunately not. But looking back at her literature, looking back at her work, we can appreciate it. At the time, not so much. It wasn't regarded. It wasn't accepted in society, unfortunately. All right, last Enlightenment thinker, Adam Smith. Adam Smith. And we talked about Adam Smith already in chapter 1, so I don't have to focus too much attention on him. But main thing, laissez-faire economics, hands-off approach. Okay, making sure that the market can run itself and that government shouldn't intervene. Making sure that government doesn't become too strong to skew really the market. And this allows for a lot of innovations, a lot of inventions. As the private sector, the free market runs, a lot of these private businesses are coming up with new innovative ideas, new inventions to help with the productions of goods and materials, and allowing for a higher standard of living for all individuals. If the government runs it, well, they might not meet the needs of every individual. And this is really not spurring a lot of economic advancement and innovations. Just look at every and all communist socialist governments throughout the world. There's a reason why they maybe lack with technology, lack with modernization. With a free market, this pushes these entrepreneurs, these investors, these innovators to come up with new ideas, new methods to try to enhance living in all societies. So Adam Smith really coining this term, laissez-faire economics, and what we know as modern capitalism. So, in the United States, what type of market do we have? What type of market? Is it strictly capitalist? Jeffrey, what is it? What type of economy does the United States have? Free market, yeah, for the most part, but it's a mixed market economy, right? So we have mostly, primarily capitalist economy, but we have a mixture of social programs as well. So that's what makes it a mixed market economy. Good. So we kind of have the best of both worlds. All right. Is there any questions on that, guys? We good? So Adam Smith, laissez-faire economics, making sure government doesn't become too strong and interweaves in the control of the market. Again, allowing for more innovation, inventions, you name it. You good? Okay. So real quick, I want to go over this assignment here. Project presentations. And you can work with a partner, you just have to let me know who you're working with. So here we go. And then after tomorrow, module 1 will be closed. So no more turning in assignments, and I'm going to try to organize it so it goes right to the module we're working on. That should make it easier for everybody. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go over this assignment with you guys. So please pay attention. If you are working with someone, please let me know. I know we're limited to the amount of Enlightenment thinkers that were presented, so we might have some reruns of them. Some groups might have the same Enlightenment thinker, but I'm going to try to make sure that for the most part we have different ones. All right, so you're going to research an Enlightenment thinker and help create our government, our constitution, okay, that influence that anyway. And for number 1, I want you guys to come up with a symbol. So this could be just a slide of a symbol and you explaining that symbol and how it represents that Enlightenment thinker. So how does that symbol that you created, that you think of, resembles the thoughts and beliefs of that Enlightenment thinker? So try to come up with something different. I know yesterday I talked about Thomas Hobbes. I just put a symbol of a crown. And it makes sense, right? He wanted an absolute monarchy. Maybe with Thomas Locke, I talked about the lock, right? Inside the lock, life, liberty, and property. So come up with something different. Be unique. Be creative. All right, so biographical information. So talk about a little bit of that person, where they were born, maybe the society that they lived in. Okay, some of the hardships, the conflicts that they experienced in their life, which shaped their thinking and shaped what they believe government should look like in people's lives. 3, key ideas and reflect Enlightenment thinking. So come up with some key ideas that obviously were brought up by this person, or some famous works. I know Thomas Hobbes, the Leviathan, right? John Locke, the 2 treaties of government. You get it. And then finally, last one here, impact on modern government. So we mentioned a lot of these individuals. Montesquieu, 3 branches of government. Well, we have 3 branches of government. Rousseau, social contract, right? So how we give up rights for government to protect us. John Locke, our liberties, okay, our freedoms that are granted to us. And like always, make sure you have a citation page, okay? MLA formatting. So make sure you cite your information. I just want to see links. You guys got that? Brem, you got that? Okay, sounds good. So you have a little bit of time to work on that in class now. And tomorrow, I'll give you all day tomorrow to work on it as well. Figure it's a nice Friday, except for current, we got to go over current events first, and then all you guys work on those assignments. Sound good? Okay. Okay, that's all I have for today. So again, let me know who you're working with, if you are working with someone. And let me know what Enlightenment thinker you would like to research.